Welcome you and all to another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast, where we talk about Latino everything. I'm your host, Crispin Valentin. Make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Why? You have such amazing stories to learn from, such amazing stories to listen to today, like the story of Adrianna Diaz. She's a singer, mariachi singer, and a whole lot more. And now to her episode. Adrianna, hola, how you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us. Omar at the Cabo Bar Forward told me about you. We was chit-chatting about just random stuff, and I told him I have a podcast. I showed him. He's like, oh, you know who would be great? And he mentioned your name. So I'm like, oh, cool. So I started following, looking around, and I'm like, oh, this is neat. On your YouTube channel, found a lot of stuff. And very interesting. But before we get started, though, we're going to do a segment that I like to call Preguntas al Chile. If you have not subscribed to the channel, now is the time. You have nothing to lose, so much to gain. There's amazing stories that you get to learn from, take away, and become a better person today. ¿Estás lista? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
¿Tacos o tortas?
Oh, tortas.
Tortas, right. Corn tortilla, flour tortilla.
Flour.
Gorditas or pupusas.
Gorditas.
Gorditas, right. Salsa verde or salsa roja, which team are you?
Salsa verde.
Salsa verde, yes. Menudo or pozole?
Pozole.
Jarrito, what flavor?
Jarritos, tamarindo.
Tamarindo, good choice. Agua de horchata, Jamaica, or tamarindo too.
Jamaica.
Yeah, Jamaica's a good one. Valentina, Tabasco, Cholula, or Tapatio hot sauce?
Cholula.
Cholula, I like it too. Churros or flan?
Flan.
Favorite genre of music to sing?
Rancheras, of
Rancheras.
course.
It could be like,
Yeah.
it could be pop and we don't even know, you know? It could be your guilty pleasure whenever you just want to just be in the car and sing along. Whenever you want to dance, let's say you got booked for a gig. Let's say you have a big event that you're going to be singing. Do you like to do dance cumbia, salsa, merengue, bachata, or tejano dancing to celebrate?
Oh, cumbias, for sure.
Cumbias. When you hear the word Latino, what is the very, very first thing that comes to mind for you?
Well, Latin America and just diversity, the people.
The people. And do you mind if anybody calls you Latina? Do you prefer Latina, Mexican American, Mexican? What would you prefer? What is you, or do you even care?
Well, I don't mind, but I usually tell people, like, yes, I'm Mexican American because I was born here and both of my parents were born here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes more sense. I wasn't born in a Latin American country, but I wouldn't deny it as an identity, but I don't promote myself as Latina just for that reason.
Got you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's get to your story. You got a very interesting story, as you were mentioning earlier. We'll get to the singing part here in a little bit. That's what we hear. You kind of see the guitar in the background. So just starting off, born here, your mom was first gen,
Yes.
and your dad is American.
Yes.
How does that feel for you growing up in Fort Worth?
Well, I've lived in the DFW area for over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I did grow up here, but it was definitely interesting. I have such a diverse background because of my dad being an American, military. We lived a military lifestyle. We moved around before settling here. And then my mom being first gen, she was born in Los Angeles, and my older brother was born same hospital, same city as her as well. So,
Wow.
but she uprooted her life, being married to my dad, and just so different than that typical Mexican American family. She really was like, I want something different. My dad, he had a rough childhood, and he joined the military. He joined the Marine Corps to change his life, and he did. He really
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your dad for your services. I'm a veteran as well, so highly appreciate it. Being an Army brat,
Yes.
some people don't know the
Yes.
term, but Army brat is somebody that's born into a military family, moves around a lot. Do you remember moving a lot around?
Oh, yes. Well, mostly the big move that I experienced as a child moving here to Texas, because I lived in Spain for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So when I was 5, 6, 7, and right before I turned 8, I moved here. But I went to school on a military base. I always spoke English. But even with without a language barrier, I did experience what a lot of Latinos experience, that culture shock. You know, it is different. It's just different. And I remember having to adjust, and now I'm like, I'm pretty Texan. I've been here over 20 years.
Got the boots on y toda la cosa.
Yeah. But I do remember feeling like, oh, like this is different, you know.
So what were you born?
I was born in St. Louis, Missouri. Actually, a little outside of St. Louis is St. Charles. And I still have family that live out there in Missouri. That's my dad's side of the family. And then my mom's family, most of them still live in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, wow.
So she met my mom met my dad in high school because her dad, my grandpa, for a while lived out there. He had a job out there. So that's the only reason why they met. You know, he took that job, moved just the immediate family out there.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're all, well, for me, I'm all like mixed up, and I have family all over the place just from that, you know, just something that little changes, you know. I mean, I think about that all the time. If my mom hadn't met my dad and married him, you know, I could have been born in LA just like my brother and stayed out there too.
Do you remember when you were in Spain at all, a little bit at all? What is the fond memories that you have from Spain when you were there, and what area in Spain?
Well, yes, it was beautiful in Rota, Spain. That's where the military base is. So it's southern Spain, not too far from Sevilla. So we would go to the ferias, and, you know, the women with their flamenco dresses. I remember cool. The horses, of course. That's, I mean, I remember riding horses even before Spain. But I'll never forget, in Spain, I took some horse riding lessons, and just, it was such a beautiful experience. The beach, like the food, it was awesome. I love it.
So you still over there when you first touched the guitar? Is that when you started learning? Or when does the introduction first to singing come about?
Yes. Well, from what my family tells me, I could always sing even as a really little girl, just from, you know, TV shows, just how they all have jingles, and I would pick it up pretty quick. But yes, when I was living in Spain, my dad did buy me a guitar when I was about 6 or 7, and he had a friend who's also military who played guitar and was just like, hey, you know, give her like a little 30-minute lesson, see how it goes. And I just picked it up. It was so natural. And that gentleman told my dad, oh, she's gonna play forever. She's gonna do something musical forever. Like, he just saw it in me, and it was something that came really natural for me because my parents, they don't sing or play or nothing. It's just something I had an ear for.
Okay, before we move on, you want to try something real quick first? Just put you on the spot since the guitar is here. You know, we're not just do the props. Just to kind of show a little bit of what you do, because I never seen you live. I've seen some of the videos that you do. Very lovely. But if we can maybe capture some good stuff, see where you can just maybe like 10, 15 seconds or whatever you can muster to sing for us.
Just a few seconds.
Even if it's your favorite song or something memorable that touches you.
Okay.
All right.
Ya me canso de llorar y no amanecer. Ya no sé si maldecirte o por ti rezar. Tengo miedo de buscarte y de encontrarte.
We're good. Thank you so much. No, you could have kept going. It was music to my ears, literally, because I have the headphones on, but it was amazing.
Thank you.
All right. So it's back on. If you want to pull that closer to you.
Okay.
Awesome. So 7 years old, you kind of already practicing the guitar a little bit. Immediately when you touch the guitar and you sing, do you feel a love for it? Do you feel like this is something that you just, like he said, you want to do your entire life?
Yes, I do feel a love for it. It's definitely, I think a lot of musicians and singers would relate that it's a love-hate relationship. I'm very critical of mostly myself. I think I'm pretty tame with others because I understand the pressure.
Right.
Anything can get in the way of a good performance. Nerves, technology. Some mics are more forgiving than others. Sometimes you don't have a mic. Just all those things. So I'm pretty good about keeping those things in perspective, especially with other performers, young performers. But for myself, I always had that love for it because I enjoy it. But I push myself. I'm very critical. Like I want to be better always.
When did you learn the important lesson that every performer learns, that the show must go on, even when everything is going bad?
I mean, just from experience, I mean, there was times when I remember specifically when I was like 12, my dad would take me to open mic nights, you know, just do what you practice, do what you know. And there'd be songs that I struggle with, you know, my hands were little, and so I would struggle, and maybe I would mess up, but just keep going. And I remember sometimes I would get off stage or get home, I'd be mad. I'd be like, why'd you make me do that? You know? But he's like, hey, even the best, Beyonce, Madonna, they've fallen, they keep going. And I learned that so young. So I'm really good about, from that experience, and then just from having that understanding that things are going to happen, keep going. And that's better for the audience. The audience wants to see you succeed. So if you fall and get back up, it's even better than if you just had done it perfectly.
Has it happened to you before?
No falling, but maybe little errors or problems with microphones where, you know, it screeches or it kind of sounds like it turns off for a half second, and you just keep going, you know, because you'll hear it. But you just got to know, no, just keep going, stay calm, and people are going to appreciate that.
Is there any line that you go to usually to try to like kind of sort of like calm things down whenever things are going bad? Oh, you know, people say technical difficulties or whatever. Is there any particular something you use that kind of keep humor at all?
I luckily haven't had anything so bad where I've had to address the audience and be like, hey, you know, luckily it's just kind of like a little bump in the road. You just keep going, and then awesome. Later on someone will be like, hey, was something going on? I'm like, yes, but I was hoping you didn't notice, but it happens.
That's cool. Okay, so now when did you get to the US? What year? And then that's when you started doing open mics here?
Yes.
Okay.
When I moved here, so I was about to turn 8.
Texas, specifically the DFW area?
Yes, because there's the military base in Grand Prairie. So, but we were living in Grapevine. And I mean, gosh, please don't make me do math. I have no idea what year that was, but
at one time you got here.
Yes, I was about to turn 8 years old. I remember.
Oh, wow.
So the summer before 3rd grade.
Cool.
But yeah, you know, when we came here, it was an adjustment. So if I was singing and practicing at 8, 9 years old, it was just, you know, kind of in my spare time. But once I hit a little older, that's when my dad wasn't working quite so much, because he was gone for a while too. You know how that goes. He was a lifer, he was active duty, so he'd be home, he'd be gone. But right when I hit that 11, 12, 13, I had really honed in. And my dad really pushed me. He was like, you have to keep going. You have to practice. Even when I didn't want to. I don't know if you've seen the Selena movie. There's a part where even they touch on that. The kids are like, we want to go play. He goes, 15 minutes. It was the same thing. It's like, I don't know. Like, yeah, you love it, but you don't take it so serious at that age. It wasn't until I got older where I had that discipline to take it more serious.
What songs were you practicing at that time? Because during that time, you were still just doing mainly English songs, correct?
Yes. I really liked Cheryl Crow and another Texan, Miranda Lambert. I liked Stevie Nicks. So I did all sorts of different old school stuff, you know, from my parents. And just female artists that I liked, Jewel. So I would just pick songs, and my dad would too. Hey, just try this, see how it sounds. And it just went from there. I just kept building. Do
you recall at all your first performance? Where was the plays? Was it a school? Was it a venue?
The one that comes to mind when I was here, I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade. So I had just gotten here, and I did do a Sheryl Crow song for the talent show. And that kind of helped me, you know, fit in more with my peers, because they were, hey, oh my gosh, you know, even the teachers would be like, you did so good. We had no idea you could sing and play. And I'm sure my parents have a video of that somewhere still, but you know, just a tiny little girl. But I had that push, luckily, to take it serious and sing and play at the same time, which I mean, there's tons of kids out there with talent, but it's not always so common. So I don't know. I don't think I was nervous back then. I think I'm more nervous now than when I was a kid. Yes.
That's neat. Okay, so you did say earlier that it was a culture shock. Did that kind of sort of help, knowing that you kind of sing? You know how you're the new kid on school, and they're kind of looking you, at least in your perspective, you feel like you're the strange person.
Yes, I think it definitely did help because people recognize that, oh, I know her. Oh, she's the one that sings. You know, it kind of gave me a little place here because, yeah, it was a culture shock. I mean, I'm sure other people understand this in Spain and other countries. You know, it's very hola, ¿cómo estás? They shake your hand, they hug you, they kiss you. Here, not so much. I remember as a kid.
Did you try?
Well, not maybe kissing anybody, but just being so like, like so used to that warmth.
Yeah.
And that's not so common here. So I remember feeling kind of like, oh, I don't fit in. But with music, I definitely kind of, you know, adjusted really well.
That's cool. So you keep practicing, and how are the opportunities coming along as far as you going to perform here, performing there, and when was it that you actually got booked for something to do? Do you remember that?
Well, for like national anthems, which those are a big deal. It just started small with, you know, my dad knew I could sing, and I started at school, like pep rallies. But once he was like, okay, she's taking this serious, she can do it, you know, a cappella, just her on the mic. I met, this awesome family, the Bussy family that I think you saw on my social media, that they own XKO, the fight promotions.
Absolutely.
At the time, they were based in Arlington, and they had this warehouse gym, and they did wrestling at the time too, and some MMA. And through my dad, they had told, I'm not sure how it came about, but they mentioned that, oh yeah, we would love to have a national anthem singer. And my dad was like, hey, you know, my daughter's really young, but she's got it. Like, she can do it. You know, have faith in her, have her come audition. And that's what I did. And they were like, you're booked.
Wow. So do you remember your first event with them at the warehouse? Because I know they taking you on the road in different places, right? Different venues. But do you remember the first one?
Maybe not the very first one, but I do remember being young and being nervous, but that it went really well. I remember the location. But maybe not the very first one, but I do remember some of those first events. And
that's cool.
Being there.
Take me back to the feeling of how did you feel to be able to be in front of people and having first of all, it's a difficult song to make sure that you get it done correctly, because not a lot of people do it right.
Yes. I would always be nervous. I still get nervous to this day. It's something, you know, from a military family, not just my dad. My brother was in the military. I have cousins that served. So I am singing from my heart. You know, I have a lot of love for my family and for my country, of course. So I always took it serious. And I think for me, though, I took comfort in that the lights are bright. You really can't see the audience. So I'm just like, up there, I'm like, okay, just sing to the lights, because you can't really see the people.
Right.
And it just got me through that, the practice, just trusting myself that I've prepared, I've practiced, and you don't got to look anybody in the eyes. Just sing to the camera, sing to the lights, and it all goes well.
Yeah, because this is not new for you. The spotlight and being in the lights and in front of people. We only have bringing myself here today, but normally you're like in front of people, right?
Yes.
Tell me some of the most memorable venues that you would perform, whether it be the national anthem or just in general performing.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely with XKO, that they do events at Texas Live. That's always a great energy. Man,
I seen something about Billy Bob's.
Yes.
I don't know if it was one of those events too.
Yes, as well. They because they go all over the DFW area and Midland as well. So, yes, Billy Bob's was a great experience. I mean, I've performed so much that it's really hard to narrow it down. But I've done some amazing shows with Mariachi too, where we've had the folklóricos, and those have been amazing. I've been in Oklahoma and done shows like that as well. So each performance is special, but I do have that love for doing the national anthem, because it's like the pressure's on.
Yeah.
And I think I like it. Even though it scares me, it gives me a little anxiety, it gives me a lot of that adrenaline rush as well.
Yeah, the pressure's on for the national anthem because it's a big pressure, but there's also a lot of pressure for doing the mariachi, right?
Yes.
So where's the pivot? Of course, you have that you can do the national anthems, you can do covers, you got roots there, Mexicano. So when do you start pivoting to like maybe mariachi could be something that I can try to do. Or maybe, I don't know if you were fluent in Spanish at that time or not, but when did you decide to want to do mariachi?
It was something that happened naturally, but it took time. You know, when I was younger, I was more timid, and even though I could sing, and yeah, I could sing in front of thousands of people, I was a bit introverted in some aspects. So I wasn't sure I could do it. I just had always loved Selena, and my grandpa, he loves rancheras, like, you know, the old school stuff. And so I had always enjoyed it, but I wasn't sure that I could do it until I was about 18, because I had stayed in school and I still was studying music, you know, in college. And my voice, just from 16 to 18, that's when I had this like epiphany. Like, it was just growing, and I had teachers, luckily, that told me, no, you can sing even higher than you think. And I just kept going. And so I was like, wow, my range grew. And so that 16 to 18 age, for me, was like, wow, all this growth. And then I was like, oh, I bet I could do it. You know, I just was so shy, or like, well, what if people judge me? Or what if I sound funny if I have an accent? But it just took practice and trusting myself. And then from friends and coworkers, you know, like you spend time with people, they find out you sing, oh, sing me a little song, or sing me something in Spanish. And I would, and they'd be like, whoa. They'd be like, hey, that really sounds good. And so I was like, okay, I'm getting good feedback. And then I met a trumpet player through school, and he said, hey, you know, I know some mariachis, and I know you're just would be like technically a beginner all over again, but he told me, I know someone that would hire you and would work with you. You just got to practice. And he's like, I know you would do it. And that's how it started. And I was late in the game. I don't think I started singing officially with mariachis till I was 23. Wow. So that's late for most mariachis.
Absolutely. I mean, but you got the voice. So you come in any moment you want to start doing your thing. Okay, take me to the first. Did you have to go practice with that mariachi group? You remember what the first group was, or is it still currently the same group?
Oh yeah, it was some group. It was just, you know, some older gentlemen, like, you know, they just did it for fun mostly. And luckily, I didn't have to necessarily practice with them. They wouldn't like meet up. They would just say, hey, like, tell us what you know. And then he sent me a list and was like, hey, practice these ones. You know, me, I always like to be prepared. So I just took that time. And so that would be it. We'd be at the gig and it's like go time. You know, I didn't get that like, oh, like, I'm not sure of myself. I just prepared myself the best I could. Yeah. And from my experience of, like we talked about earlier, being a kid, the show must go on. It just pushed me, I think, to learn a little quicker than maybe someone else with less experience would have been able to.
Some of the mariachis either play at a restaurant or play in gigs, weddings, quinceañeras. Yeah. What was the first event that y'all went to with that group?
I think with that group in particular, it was just like private parties, little birthday parties. It was just a simple group just for fun. Some of the bigger groups, and the group I'm with this year, they do, of course, the weddings, the quinceañeras, and I know they've done some stage work as well. So.
And what's the name of the group that you're currently with now?
Yes, Mariachi Argo.
Argo?
De Dallas, yes.
De Dallas. So how did they find you? Just seeing you on social, because you have some videos on YouTube you did about 4 years ago. They still live there. And you were doing some different stuff. Yes. Not mariachi, but you were doing some with the guitar.
Yes.
So how did y'all find each other?
Yes, through social media. And I think word of mouth is always the main way musicians find each other, because like I mentioned earlier, videos can only show you so much. When you hear it in person, you're like, okay, yes. Or you could be like, no. It could go either way. And he invited me just a few weeks ago. And I was like, okay, you know, I know this group is really serious. They practice a lot. They're a bigger group, and they're they have a foundation here in Dallas. And so I just did, you know, my thing. I'm like, okay, they're either going to like me or no. And they said, yes, okay, you're what we're looking for.
Oh, nice.
You know, with singing wise, of course, yes, I do play guitar, but I always tell people I I'm not a mariachi, I'm a singer, because mariachis really are, if you're really proficient in your instrument and can sing. And for me, I'm really proficient in singing, and I play too, to support my voice. But for me, my bread and butter is singing. That's my main focus.
Yeah. What was the first gig you done with them? Have you already done an actual official gig with them?
Yes, we started in December. December is the busy time for mariachis. So yeah, they just said, hey, come out this Saturday. Let's see how it goes. And it went really well. Every gig that we did. And then audience members, they're looking for female singers. I see that all the time. It's always good if you have a group to have at least one female that can sing, because some of the biggest hits are sang by women. So unless, the guys can do it, but I think having a strong female voice is always a positive.
What was the first gig y'all did? Because during that December could be all different stuff. La Virgen got stuff, the Navidad, Posadas.
I think with them, I was helping some other groups because I'm always busy for Dia de la Virgen. So on that week, everyone's helping everybody because there's so much work. There's really not enough mariachis, I think, for the amount of work there is for that day or even for that week. So you'll see that's how word of mouth happens. This person knows this instrument. This person knows these songs. But
so they start putting each other together in groups?
Who's available, because it's just there's so much work. And then, for me, I'm like, hey, I can sing, but I need at least 4 to 5 hours of sleep. Some mariachis, they don't need to sleep. They'll stay up all night. They'll gig for 24 hours straight. Me, I'm like, I'll do about 12 hours, and then I'm going to,
12 hours is a lot. Singing, it takes your whole body to
It
sing.
happens, yes.
Wow.
There's so much work. So with this group, though, it was after December 12th, so I think it was for birthdays. They were private parties mostly. So that's why it's easy for them, or for mariachis in general, to invite people and kind of test out, because it's not like, oh, we're going to be on this big stage and we're going to do all this repertoire. Hopefully you know it. No, we don't do that to each other. It's, hey, we have these gigs, and a lot of the songs that you end up doing, the audience asks. It's really up to the audience. They'll call out what they want to hear. The more repertoire you know, the better. You make yourself look good. Like, hey, I can play any song these people are calling right now. Yeah. And that's usually how you get the work that you get.
So how extensive is your repertoire these days for mariachi?
I feel like I have a lot to learn still, but I do know a lot of songs. Of course, being a singer, it happens, from listening. And sometimes there'll be songs that just from me practicing on my own, or just from listening, that I'm like, you know what? I know how the melody goes. And even though it's not always the best thing to do, but I'm like, as long as you could pull up the lyrics and they want to hear it, I can do that on the spot. But I do prefer to sing from memory. So I do have a good repertoire. I gotta know at least 40 songs, I think. I would like to say I know 50, but I'm not sure.
That's cool. And then a lot of people be using the phone these days with the lyrics and stuff. So that's like a tool.
Yes.
Until you finally learn it.
Yes, it helps, because no matter how long you've been a musician in any genre, is going to know every song by heart. So technology, it just helps get the show go on, that the show must go on. And it just helps connect with your audience, because sometimes the audience knows and picks songs on purpose that are difficult or that you probably won't know, but if you're able to pull it off,
that'd be me.
Yes,
comes with a good tip, but that's gonna be me.
Yes, sometimes they like to mess with us, but if you're able to pull it off, it makes it more fun for them. Like, oh, let's give them a challenge. And if you're like, okay, it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to be able to pull it off, it's enjoyable for everybody.
Do you ever sing and you kind of sort of see the reaction of people and like, oh, she's kind of good?
Yes. I tell people this all the time. If I wasn't at least decent at this, I like to think that I'm good at singing, but I was like, if I wasn't at least even decent at this, I would not waste my time. Really, because it's hard work. Takes dedication.
Right.
And so if I wasn't, made for this, or I wouldn't waste my time doing it. And so I tell people that. I'm like, if you really love it, do it. If you don't, if you're better at something else, if I was a mathematician and could be making lots of money, you know, solving issues like that, I would do it. But I'm not. I feel like singing is something that I'm actually good at, and I do enjoy it. So I do it. And the audience does, you know, the reactions is what keeps me going, really. Because if they didn't like it, I'm like, why would I make their ears suffer? But because that reaction, the happiness, the excitement, it makes me happy and excited too to be there. Cool. So yeah.
So I'm surprised they're short in here in the DFW mariachi. Well, there's everybody in the mountain part celebrated, but there's like schools and now they have mariachi programs and all kinds of stuff, folklorico, you name it. It has a lot of us. I don't know if when you grew up you had that, but apparently I seen like Fort Worth has a few groups and things like that all over the DFW. You have groups of mariachi. That's neat to see.
Oh, it's grown so much because when I was younger, I mean, I don't remember. I mean, I didn't know any mariachis or groups until like I said, I was almost 23 or right at 23 years old. But also social media has boomed so much. So, and back when I was, you know, military family, I wasn't allowed to have an iPhone. So I really didn't have access to people and what people were doing until I was an adult, which I guess is a good thing. But yeah, it's so different now. And I tell people who are younger than me, like, hey, like you're ahead of the game than where I was. So if they ever feel like frustrated or, you know, having a bad day, I'm like, hey, you're only in your early 20s now. I'm in my late 20s. I'm like, give 4 or 5 years, you're going to be even farther than where I'm at. And so it's a good thing that it's growing and it's more accessible because when I graduated high school, I mean, I don't remember really seeing maybe just one folklorico in person, you know. But now their shows, it seems like not all the time, but more often, and events they bring out. Well, now I think Hispanic Heritage Month, a lot of places take it more serious and they do hire mariachis. They have dancers come out and it's just different, I think. Now it's grown.
Yeah, they even have a degree you can obtain from TCU of Ballet Folklorico specifically.
Yes, yeah, that's new. I feel like that has to, I mean, unless I'm wrong, I think that has only been implemented like the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah,
roughly. So what is your go-to song for mariachi? What ranchera? Which one do you like to sing?
Well, there's so many I like.
A favorite one? Yes.
Well, I played a little bit of Paloma Negra. I really like that one.
That's
and
nice.
Anything from like Juan Gabriel. Just
I like Los Laureles.
Yes.
That's one of my faves.
Awesome. Yes.
I'll probably be the one they're asking for that one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So whenever now these days you stay busy, not only doing the national anthem for the MMA promotion, but you also do just pretty much every weekend your book, right? Wow. How does that, again, 4 hours of sleep minimum, but what is the most gigs that you say you would do in a day?
I definitely remember 8 hours, like 8 gigs in a day, because I don't know if I've done more than that, or maybe it just felt like I did more, but I've had days where we start at like 9 or 10 because maybe we have like church gigs or maybe we're playing at a wedding, but we're playing the mass and later at the reception, and then we have gigs all night, you know, till 2-3 in the morning. It does happen. So I would say like at least like for the longest 8 hours of work in one day.
Wow.
Wow. And that's not including all the driving and all the
at least they feed you.
Yes, they do.
Being out on the being out doing gigs as a musician and stuff, you got to be very careful with alcohol. Yes. Because you could either be carried away or you know, things like that, or you know, maybe loosen up. I don't know if you have like a particular way of you doing it, but I don't know if you like to partake of drinking or not, or how do you manage that you stay professional and not drink during a gig because you know it could mess you up.
Yes, I don't drink at all, especially when I'm working. I think I mean can't even remember the last time I had a drink right now off the top of my head. But I've never been, even when I was younger, you know, when I did music in English and country music, and I would see other artists, you know, drink. It just never was something I got into. A lot of people use it. They say, oh, to relax the nerves. I just never needed it, and so I don't drink at gigs, and I tell people all the time that no, better not, because my Spanish, I always am pretty nervous about it, and I'm like, I don't need anything messing up my brain and my concentration. So no, that luckily has not been an issue for me.
That's cool. Now, as far as when you think about being professional, pursuing a career and singing and everything else, a lot of the things, it's like recordings or actual material that you have. Do you have anything you're planning to do? I don't know if I found anything as far as you recorded an actual material. Is that something that you have in your mind that one of these days you want to do, even if it's just covers, just a full production, whether it be an EP or CD or anything like that, or just even singles?
Yes. So I have had a little bit of recording experience helping other artists. I even had this experience with this young man that was a rapper, and he had this little chorus. He needed a singer, and someone recommended me. They're like, hey, she's not a R&B singer, but she can sing. And so I came in and did his little chorus that he written out, and they had sent it to me, and I listened to it. So I was like, okay, this is how it goes. He was like, oh, thank you so much. I was kind of nervous, kind of like, R&B is not my forte, but I'll do my best. And he was like, no, that was great. So I have a little bit of experience with some other artists, helping them with their projects. But for me, yes, in the future, I would love to put out an EP. And actually now I have some friends that have graduated and they did
Audio engineering.
Yes. So they tell me, they're like, Adrianna, whenever you're ready. And I think for me, the main thing that has just put me on pause is more like creativity, like, oh, well, what is it that I want to put out there, because I'm so critical that I would want it to really represent me well.
That's cool. Yeah, definitely. You got to think of what you want to put, but it's pretty neat to see for people to take you more and more serious, to be like, oh, I have this material, I have that material,
Absolutely.
What was the rapper's name or the few artists you helped out?
Oh, I mean, this was years ago, so I don't remember. Yes.
But your songs live on somewhere.
Yes.
Did it say featuring you, or did you just put the voice and that was it?
I just put the voice. Credit. That was it. Yeah.
So you get your credits there, girl. Whenever you start recording, get all the BMIs, ASCAP, and all that stuff ready so you can get your money.
Yes.
I got a couple songs that I recorded and everything and put them out. I made a few dollars.
Hey.
Not enough for what I spent to make them, but I get a few dollars here and there.
Hey, but it's all part of the creative process that you made something, that lives on and that represents a time in your life. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's neat to see that every so often I check the account like, oh, $67. That's pretty neat.
That is cool.
Okay, so now once you get that done, best of luck. But what genre do you think you're gonna go with that? I think you're still pondering on that.
I mean, obviously, if I did like an EP, I would do a few songs. I would definitely have to do at least one in English. I think I would focus more in Spanish. I mean, I think that's the genre I have more passion for. But I definitely, especially for weddings, I get requests for songs in English, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge. A lot of the best, I think of the best singers. I think of the Trinity, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, and Whitney Houston. Yeah. And so I've had opportunities to do covers that they've done, and I enjoy it because I get to show people, oh yeah, like I love music, I love singing, and I love learning from the best, and doing my interpretations. So in the future, yes, I would like to pursue music in Spanish language, but yeah, I would keep my roots.
Went into the Texas Ranger, the Glow Light Field. They have a mariachi group.
Yes, they
do. And they've been mixing mariachi with English songs.
Yes,
and it sounds pretty neat.
It's so fun.
Right?
I think that's what I love, that the genre mariachi has grown so much, and we have this generation of Mexican Americans, that's the thing that I tell people about Mexican Americans. We have so much, we're exposed to so many different genres. We
have so much versatility.
Yes.
And like you're right, exposure to different sounds. It's just, we can do everything.
So you can do, exactly. Yeah. And mariachi, it's just it's so, we're able to take songs and you think, oh, there's no way that a mariachi could do it. And they do, and it ends up being so fun and sounding really cool too. That's
cool. I know you had earlier briefly mentioned you were going to school. Did you went to school for music, or are you still working on something?
I when I was younger, yes, I was going. I thought, okay, I'll just be like a music major, but it was actually an adjustment because when I was already in high school, I was already working, so I had kind of stopped doing choir. I wasn't really involved in music at my school. But in college, I was like, okay, I need to get back to it. And I did go for over a year, but then I told myself, I don't want to be a teacher because that was the main degree plan. So I had taken a break. And that's how just luckily things fell into place, and I did still find mariachi. But now if you like mariachi music, there's colleges that they have either groups that are technically just a club, or there are colleges in South Texas where it's a program. That's awesome. And you get your degree. So if I had known that back then, I would have definitely done that. But here in North Texas, it wasn't back in the 2010s. It wasn't available to me at the time. Maybe for other people, they knew about the programs, but I didn't. And now I'm happy that for younger people that they have the opportunity.
Absolutely. It's 15 years came a long way to have more opportunities for you to grow with your craft if you desire. That's pretty cool. I like whenever, because I MC sometimes events too, like weddings and stuff like that, and I be watching the mariachis work, and it's so funny how they just be having their side conversation about whatever as they're playing. And then this person singing, and they come back and say something. I just have like full-blown conversations as everything's happening. I'm like, am I tripping, or am I watching them do this whole thing?
For all you know, they're having an argument back there.
That's possible too.
No, but I think what happens is when there's might be certain songs that you just know so well that you can multitask, and so that's probably what's happening is they're multitasking. They're like, oh, we've done this song before, or sometimes they're talking about, okay, what's the next song, or hey, for this one I want this. And I've seen it too. It's kind of funny.
Do you join the conversation too?
No.
Un poquito a little faster. It's going too slow. Speed it up.
Sometimes I think I usually just talk with my eyes, like, hey, this isn't right, or like, y'all hearing what I'm hearing? And then adjustments, yes. But usually I try to not talk while someone's singing, just out of respect. And it looks better. As the audience, they're seeing that we're happy.
No, I'm watching them from the back. I'm having them have a full-blown conversation.
You have a different perspective.
Oh, yeah, I have a different perspective. Like, this camaradas are just chatting away. And like, what the heck? But you're right. It looks different whenever they're just doing their thing. So it's pretty neat to watch. We're running almost short on time, but love that you're here. I don't know if you're on your drive over here, you were thinking, man, I wish we talk about this, or I wish he asked me about this. Anything that comes to mind?
Oh, well, now that you mention it, a big event that I sang at that I really enjoyed. Absolutely. It's called Mexico en la Sangre, or Mexico in Our Blood. Yeah. And they do charreria, and I was able to be part of their show singing. I did a national anthem, but I also got to sing with the horse that it was dancing around me. And it was awesome. And they were located in Fort Worth. They were at the Cowtown Coliseum, but this year they're moving to the Will Rogers Coliseum. Nice. So they'll keep the show going, and it's growing. So that's why they moved to Dallas, because it seats more people. And that was a show that I got to sing. The first show I did with them was in September for Mexico Independence Day. And that was an incredible feeling. I was actually in a carriage, with the horse. Claro. And so it was awesome. The lights, the energy, me and another female singer, we sang together, and we did, for one show we did Viva Mexico, but the other one, Mexico Lindo y Querido.
So you do multiple shows?
Yeah. Oh, wow. That day they did the two shows, the afternoon and the evening. But that evening show and doing Mexico Lindo y Querido, wow. I mean, I was really moved. And the audience, they loved it. I mean, getting to sing like that. And that was one of the first times where I felt, wow, I feel so proud to be a Mexican American. Like, and then just with everything that's going on this year politically, it just was a different feeling for me that I feel so united with my community.
We're still here singing.
Yes, we're still here. Exactly. That's
Singing
exactly how I felt.
Mariachi.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. You don't have to go and check it out. But we're going to keep singing.
Yes.
Do you ever sing something like that moment right there and kind of sort of like get teary-eyed at all? It's just like the whole emotion of the moment.
Yes. That day, I mean, wow, it was incredible. And I have had the opportunity to also do the Mexican National Anthem and talk about the pressures on the Mexican community. They are known to have high expectations,
very critical,
and so
right.
I was very nervous when I had did the Mexican National Anthem. But it is the same thing. As soon as I started, I felt the energy. I heard the crowd. And, when I got done, just had, Viva Mexico. I was like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe I did it. And I just felt that. Yeah. Yeah. I felt so, just honored. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, yes, I am American. I'm a proud American. But I'm also very proud of my roots and very proud of, my family and the family that live in Mexico and that came from Mexico and moved here and made a new life.
Absolutely. And it made something magnificent. This thing's amazing. So that's awesome. Okay. Anything else that comes to mind as far as you want to touch up on? I'm going to go over the social media here in a second, but I don't know if you have anything else.
No, I think that was it.
Shout out to the friend Omar for letting me know. Didn't even tell me you was a fighter back in the days, but that's pretty cool. He seemed pretty chill and we just chit chat. And again, recommended me. I'm like, oh yeah, she's gonna have to be on the podcast one time or another. So to be only the second time podcast, this is a real live deal that you've been before, but you've been on a podcast, so that's pretty cool.
Yes.
Awesome. Before I let you go, all your social media, where can people find you at? Instagram, IG, Facebook, wherever.
Yeah, so for my name, for Facebook, Adrianna Diaz, Adrianna with 2 N's, and then Instagram, Adrianna D_music or Adrianna_D music. Same thing with my YouTube. It's under Adrianna Diaz, Diaz. Any
more videos that you're planning to release here in the near future for YouTube?
Yes, especially this year. With the group that I'm with this year, I have a lot in store for everyone. I feel like I've grown so much vocally, and yes, I plan to put out a lot of material. Y'all are gonna be sick of me.
Not at all. No, not at all.
For sure, big plans this year.
Do you have any saludos, shout outs to anybody?
Well, shout out to the Mexico in Our Blood team, Cassie Lopez. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of such an amazing show. XKO, the Bussy family, they're amazing, and they've had me part of their show over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And sí, Mariachi Argo de Dallas.
Yeah, claro que sí. Sí, señor. Every time I say the mariachi name, sí, señor.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. So what is an important lesson that you learned doing music that you would tell your younger self that would help somebody else out? What would that be?
Just keep going. Never quit. I mean, there was times where I've thought, you know what, this isn't for me. And another opportunity was right around the corner. And it helped me just keep going down that path. So I would just say never stop, never completely quit. Maybe there'll be times where you have to step back a little bit, but there's always, that when a door closes, a window will open. It will happen.
What pushes you to, after you had a moment of frustration, took a break to, again, I understand the opportunities came, but you still have to make the mind to keep going forward. What pushes you to just keep going?
I think whenever I have to take a step back, I'll listen to different genres of music, and it helps me get that excitement again, hearing a beautiful voice or hearing something challenging where I listen to it and I go, I bet I could do that. And it ignites that fire again, staying curious, staying open to those new genres, new opportunities to learn, new skills. Just always pushing forward, even if you have to take a step back for a little bit. But that's really what helps me is, I need a break from mariachi or whatever genre that I've been studying a lot. Listen to rap, listen to something completely different, and it usually kind of sparks your interest. If you really have that love for music, you'll go, oh, wait a second. Yeah, I bet I could do that.
Let me find out you're going to start rapping here on the track soon.
Not rapping, but just a different genre.
So another thing that I say to myself sometime, or during my week, my month, is I'm not immortal. I am mortal, and I will die one day. Not to scare me, terrify me, any of that. But it's a reality in life. We're not here forever, right? Yeah. But that helps me hurry up and do stuff. With that, I wish you a very long, prosperous life. After everything's said and done, what do you want people to think and feel about your life?
About my life?
You're still a baby, by the way.
I know. Like, I guess what I can say is that for me, my life, what's most important to me is that my family history that my grandparents, my parents, they set me up to go farther. They really both, generations pushed and fought so much for their lives to be better so that I could have the opportunities that I have. And I take that very serious. And so I really do put that pressure on myself that I want to do and be the best that I can be, because not just for myself, but for, my family and those who came before me and gave me those opportunities, that I'm here and that I can sing and that I can go to school and things like that. Because I did end up going back to school, and I have my associates, but I want to go get my bachelor's. And
absolutely.
Yeah, my family, they're like, oh, thank goodness, because they were a little worried, like, oh, education's so important. And I had to take a break in order to really go, I want it for myself, not just for me, but for my family.
That's awesome. Oh, absolutely. Do you think singing for you is a calling of yours, as far as the first time you touched the guitar to currently?
Yes, I would say, well, for me it is. I have to say it is, because like I said, there's times where I've been like, you know what, I'm not that good. And then, I hear someone really awesome and I'm like, oh, I either want to challenge myself to be more like them, or I hear someone else where I'm like, I sing just as good or even better. And they're out there putting themselves out there. I'm like, I got to do it too, just to make my little mark on the world that I was here and that I had a gift too. And everyone has a gift and everyone should share their gift. A lot of people, when you're in a moment of frustration, I don't owe anyone anything. But no, really, you actually owe us all. We need to see your gifts. Whatever your gift is, you should share it with the world for sure. Absolutely.
Again, Adrianna, thank you so much for being here, taking the time. You came all the way from Fort Worth. It's a little drive. I always say it, y'all really don't understand the freaking traffic unless you're actually here and driving around and getting here. So truly appreciate it. One thing about you that I really like is not only that, coming from another place to learning the culture, to be able to even want to learn how the culture, the music, and how I sing it, and then be proud of the roots of the reason why you're here is because other people may sacrifice for you to be here is amazing. And without a shadow of doubt, Adrianna, you are a Global Latin Factor. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
This was another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Remember to subscribe right now. Why? You have nothing to lose. So much to gain. Amazing stories for you to take with you. And remember, we are just like you. We are people. We are the spice and flavor in this melting pot that it is the world. Till next time.